Resolution recognizing San Luis Obispo County Arts Council for the creation of the San Luis Obispo County Poet Laureate. Whereas San Luis Obispo County Arts Council continues to promote San Luis Obispo County as one of the most vibrant places in the world to live, work, and visit, powered by dynamic and welcoming arts and cultural sectors. And whereas the SLO County Arts Council, as the local partner of the California Arts Council, advances the visual, literary, and performing arts through programs that promote public access to the arts and educational settings, planning and collaboration of local art, and opportunities for artists and arts organizations. And whereas through recent events, the SLO County Arts Council has seen an increased interest in expression through poetry by the community, and whereas a poet laureate is an honorary position that celebrates the County of San Luis Obispo's cultural heritage and promotes literacy and literature among its county residents. And whereas the mission of the Poet Laureate is to elevate poetry awareness of San Luis Obispo County by helping celebrate the literary arts, serve as an advocate for poetry, literature, and the arts, lead a community project that makes poetry more accessible, and contribute to San Luis Obispo County's poetry and literacy legacy. Now therefore be it resolved in order that the Board of Supervisors of the County of San Luis Obispo, State of California, and all the residents do hereby recognize and acknowledge San Luis Obispo County Arts Council for the commitment to improve the quality of life for everyone in our region through the arts and supporting the creation of the San Luis Obispo County Poet Laureate. Thank you.
Nice to meet you all here. My name is Jordan. I'm the Programs Director for the SLO County Arts Council, and I actually have an MFA in poetry, so I can really speak to the value of poetry in the written word, and especially as it applies to this program, the SLO County Poet Laureate program. For anyone who doesn't know, the San Luis Obispo County Arts Council is the local partner of the California Arts Council. So our goal is to advance the visual, literary, and performing arts throughout the county. And I'd love to meet with you all individually to just talk about your districts and learn more about the work that you're doing and share more about our organization as well. So don't worry, I'm not starting this program so that I can apply, even though I have a background in poetry. The SLO County Poet Laureate program is just one of our many programs. We also have Art After Dark, Open Studios Art Tour. We do the SLO County Poetry Out Loud competition, and the state competition is what follows the county competition. So our winner from the high school, the local competition, goes on to compete at state. We also are in the midst of organizing professional development workshops as part of the Central Coast Creative Corps. So we've joined together with 5 other state local partners of the California Arts Council throughout the region, and we are channeling relief funding from the state to the local level through the Creative Corps program. And so that's been a really great opportunity to grow the creative workforce. And we've re-granted money to Lumina Alliance and Race Matters through that program, and they've hired artists to advance their missions. So that's just some of the work that we're doing. I'm also going to be up, just a quick plug, in Sacramento this next week for Arts, Culture, and Creativity Month. So there will be a summit and a convening for all the state local partners, and I will meet with other arts agencies and arts administrators and leaders in the arts and cultural sector to talk about the state of the arts. And one thing I do want to mention, since it's Arts, Culture, and Creativity Month, California is number 32 in the nation for state arts funding, so that's pretty low. We have 67 cents per person designated for state arts funding, and we generate $32 billion a year from state across the state in arts and cultural institutions. Generates that much money. So 67% is pretty abysmal. And if you look at Minnesota, I think they're number 1, and it's $9 per person. So you can really see the difference there. So I just want to highlight that, since it is Arts, Culture, and Creativity Month. It is also National Poetry Month, so it's really apt that I am presenting this today. The Poet Laureate program was actually founded in 1999. I'm just going to do a quick overview. So it was founded in 1999, around the same time as the city of San Francisco announced a committee to choose their first poet laureate. And, I jumped ahead 2 slides. Really quick, I'm going to give an overview. So the Poet Laureate is regarded by the county as the most eminent or representative poet. Poets are selected by a committee of community leaders with significant expertise in education, poetry, civic and cultural leadership, and the literary arts. Applicants demonstrate a body of work that's been recognized as excellent, a history of service or a willingness to serve, and an ability to represent and develop a program to promote poetry in the county during their tenure. Kevin Clark was our last poet laureate. He was elected in 2019, and he served through 2022. He is actually a good friend of mine. He's a really fantastic individual, and he also served as the department head for creative writing at Cal Poly. He is really a strong advocate for this program coming back. There has not been a laureate since Kevin's term, and again, that ended in 2022. So a really quick brief history. As I mentioned, it's been around since 1999. The city of San Francisco also announced their city poet laureate around the same time as we created our county poet laureate. So that's pretty progressive when you think about the fact that SLO County was probably one of the first poet laureate programs to begin in the state. The original intent of the program was tied to boosting both local arts and tourism. And it does this through promoting poetry in the county during, the laureate promotes poetry in the county during their tenure. And since its founding, there has been 16 poet laureates in SLO County. We are also not the only county with a poet laureate. There is Rochelle Escamilla in Monterey. She's currently serving as their first Chicana poet laureate. Melinda Palacio in Santa Barbara, also the first Chicana poet laureate, and Fernaz Fatemi in Santa Cruz. And these are just to show a few, to really put a face to the name of the program. When I asked Melinda, how do you advance poetry throughout your county, she shared with me some examples. So I just want to demonstrate for you and paint a picture about what a poet laureate can do. So she says that she brought poetry programming to a variety of diverse communities within their county and beyond. She's given presentations in public spaces by teaming up with the library on the Go van. She's visited the library and museums throughout the county and given workshops at the Santa Barbara Writers Conference and the Santa Barbara Museum of Art. She's teamed up with local poets for events like the Poetry Walk. She's visited high schools, several classes at UCSB, and has given a performance of poetry and music at the Multicultural Center at the university. She's presented poems and songs for the Museum of Art's Dia de los Muertos program, and she's participated in parades with city dignitaries to bring more awareness to poetry and the position of the Poet Laureate. She's presented programming to senior communities at the Botanical Garden and senior living centers, to bilingual students at high schools. She's judged poetry contests. She's written poetry in response to local art installations. She's shared the stage with youth poet laureates. And she has a ton of other projects in the work as well. So that just highlights some of what's happening throughout our region as far as the work of the Poet Laureate. The application and nomination form is pretty straightforward, and we've already shared it outward, and we've had about a dozen applicants. They're asked to share a list of published work, a manuscript, an artist statement, and to also mention their community engagement program or strategy to promote creative writing. And I just want to share some of the responses just in that brief application form. So these are some of the responses we've already received from applicants and nominees as far as community engagement efforts to advance poetry through their tenure. applicants have said they'd like to organize and facilitate in-school creative writing workshops and talks for youth, so huge for arts education. They'd like to host public readings and seek out celebrated national and international poets to share their work and inspiration locally, so that'd be bringing in renowned writers to visit our county. That would enrich our literary landscape and foster an exchange of ideas. They'd like to establish a community radio show on poetry to cultivate an appreciation for the written word. They'd like to provide mentorship to underrepresented writers to hone their craft and find their unique voices. They'd like to establish a local publishing house to nurture talent and provide a platform to aspiring writers. And they'd like to collect local stories actually this was a really interesting idea, to match with landmarks using a geolocation phone app in order to educate tourists and residents in our history and culture in a unique and engaging way. So you can see there's already a lot of really fantastic ideas, and we're doing more to promote the application as well. So this was just a quick timeline I threw together, but I'd love to establish a laureate by the next year and have someone voted in after a summer of having panelists adjudicate the applications and interview each of the nominees and applicants. And I just want to thank you all again for listening today and supporting this program. I promise that we will do, and I will do the best I can to steward the program through its next life cycle, and thank you again for all of your support.
All right. At this time, we'll open the floor to public comment. I don't have any requests to speak. We'll close public comment and bring it back to the board. Supervisor Pichon?
Yeah, I just want to thank you for all you do for the community. I've attended the Poetry Out Loud a number of times with our high school students, and it's just an exceptional event, so thank you. And I think is it coming up soon?
It took place in February.
Oh.
It's airing right now on, James Brescia is having it air on.
Oh, on the county site. Great, thank you.
Okay. Any other comments? Supervisor Teasley?
Yeah, Jordan, thank you for coming and sharing the information. I think that your efforts at the council are being noted, and that, it helps us and the public that are listening to know that this is opened opportunity and we can help our arts flourish further. So thank you so much for taking the time to do this.
Great. Thank you. And Jordan, I want to thank you as well for being here and helping the rest of the citizens of the county become more aware of what you all do. So thank you.